right, movie lovers, this is Jamaal Finkley with BlackTree TV. We are here at the spaceport in Truth and Consequences, New Mexico, to interview Will and Jaden Smith for their hot new movie, After Earth. Stay tuned for the interviews right here. Man, you know, like the coolest thing about sitting here with you is like I grew up, you know, like being a fan of your father, and like now my kids grow up and they like a fan of you. They sing "Never Say Never" like the song just came out. But it was great to see you in this movie with your dad again, reunited. What's the difference in like working with like the movie with Jackie Chan? I know your dad was a producer, and having your dad as a castmate, you know, in a movie like. What's the different feel of that for you?
You know, when my dad is actually in the cast, he gives something to the movie. Just his presence, not just his stardom, but his presence on the set as an actor is a different presence than him on the set as a producer.
Oh, okay, I get it.
So he gives a different feel to the movie, which just him being in the movie can completely change a movie, not just because he's a star.
Another thing about this After Earth is I got all this mythology. I got the After Earth Bible and all this stuff.
You have it?
I have it.
Really?
I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna get you one.
Wow. I mean, I have it too, but I didn't know that. Wow, I just surprised you had one too.
Hey, man, it's BlackTree, man. You get stuff like that. But it seems like there's so much thought that went into everything from, you know, the 1,000 years to everything else. What was the thought in going to the names? Because I mean, the names are kind of unique. The Cypher did y'all
Kitai, yeah. Well, the thing my dad was thinking, he was like, all right, what race is everybody? And then we were like, they're like, most of you people are kind of still the same races, but Asian has kind of blended into every race. So he was like, okay, Asian, Hispanic, and they were like, yeah, there's a lot of Japanese and Chinese and all the Asian cultures, all of them would be blended into all of the races. So, you know, you could be black, you just be black and Asian.
Right.
So he was like, okay. So he was like, Jaden can kind of pass for a little bit of Asian because I am a little Asian. So he was like, all right, so let's pick Kitai, because Kitai is hope in Japanese.
Oh, okay.
And Senshi means something else in, I think, Japanese. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's where we kind of got the names. That's where we got the names from in a lot of the things.
Okay. Now, I know that you'll have a different outlook on this than me because I'm just a little bit older than you. But, you know, the Earth evicts the humans in this movie because we weren't treating the Earth right. What do you think we could do as humankind right now to not get evicted from Earth? And, what's some of the little things that you think that we really could tangibly change?
If I said little things, if you wanted little things to tell people how they can help the world, I would say get educated on it. Because once you're educated on it, then you can tell yourself what you think is the best way to help the world. Because I can tell you something that you'll be like, oh, okay, cool. But if you got educated, I can tell you something you don't necessarily agree with and say, no, I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would tell people. Get educated on it. Because if you were educated on it, you would know only 2% of the water on the earth is drinkable for us. So you might think of not wasting so much water. You know what I'm saying? Or you would think, if you were educated on it, you would know that plastic was made out of oil. So technically you're drinking water out of oil. You know what I'm saying? So it's really like those things you have to think about. So if you're educated, you will know all of those things.
Okay. And last question. I know you're big in movies, you're big in music also. What's some of your musical influences? Like, what are you listening to now that you think, or some of the artists now that you really think are like stamping this time?
The XX, they're an indie band. Kid Cudi, you know. Drake is obviously amazing because he just hit records, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I really look up a lot of people from good music like Kanye, Pusha T, you know. Kanye is an amazing rapper and his production is on a different level.